Good day, everyone. My name is Phumeza. Makoti kamama notata Luthuli osindisiweyo omthanda kakhulu uNkulunkulu. Today we are having a first episode of Makoti Luthuli Cooks, and I'm with an amazing soul. Chef Andile next to me. Hi Andy, how are you?
I'm good, Sis Phumeza. How are you?
I am so happy today. I am so happy to have you. How have you been?
I've been doing well. I've been waiting for this. You told me like a long time ago, would you want to do something like this?
Yes.
And I'm excited. It's finally happening.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yes. And guys, me and Andy, we like the same cup breaks. So now we are meeting in the kitchen. The Makoti Luthuli that wants to make sure I put a tip on the top on what I know already in my kitchen to make sure that I'm able to impress the in-laws and able to impress the hubby and also the kids at home. And what are we doing, Andy, today?
Okay, so today we'll be doing two things.
Yes.
Right? We'll be making savory rice and some nice curried chicken. I know, Ute, you don't like spicy food, so I'm going to dial it down and we're going to take it from there.
Okay.
So the first things first, we're going to start with our savory rice, and these are the ingredients. Okay, for our savory rice, obviously we're going to need rice.
Yes.
We're going to need some onions. Onions, for anything that's savory, whenever you cook, you need onions. They bring that nice flavor, that nice aroma. They also balance the whole meal.
Okay.
Right? And then we have our spices. You can use either, right? But for today, we're going to be using some paprika. We have the raja, mild and spicy, and then also have our turmeric.
Okay.
And then for our vegetables, we have nice peppers here. We have ground ginger and garlic mix. Okay. We have our herbs here, which is our coriander and the thyme. Okay. And for our chicken, right? Obviously, we're gonna need some chicken, and I prefer to use this part of the chicken, the thighs, because they hold up so much moisture. They hold up so much flavor. We don't have to worry about overcooking them because they won't get dry, they won't get soggy. That's the nice thing about them.
Okay.
And for our spices, which is very important, we have our raja malt, raja curry powder, we have our cumin, we have our turmeric, we have our cinnamon, paprika, some bay leaves, and some aniseed. Aniseed, you can take them out if you don't want to use them, but for this dish, I think they will add that nice aniseed licorice flavor.
Okay.
And then we have our tomato paste, we have our carrots, we have our ginger and garlic paste, onions, some coriander at the end as a garnish. And I think one thing that will make this dish stand out is this hoisin sauce. It's a mixture of sugar, soybean paste, garlic, and all that. Instead of using sugar in my recipes, I prefer this because it packs a whole lot of flavor than just adding sugar.
Okay.
Right? So it has soybean, it has dehydrated garlics, it has salted spices, all those things. Right? But the main thing is sugar.
Okay.
Here. So I love to use this in a lot of my recipes.
Okay. Wow, that's nice. Can't wait to cook.
Yes. So the first thing that we're going to do is our rice.
Okay.
Right? I'm going to switch on my stove now, and the spagagu medium to low, which is 4.
Okay.
Kids plays an important role, and I've seen a lot of people like, no, and that will like mess up your cooking.
Okay.
Right? So medium to low, which is 4 at this point, it's a good temperature because at least your food will have enough time to cook very well. Everything will cook. Like the heat distribution will be very not very fast, it will be perfect for cooking. So if we be able to and then you put your stuff, and that will cause your food not to cook properly, first of all. You know. Yes. So we bear 6 and then show to but you know the inside parts are not well cooked. But if it's sugar 4 or sugar 3, the heat will distribute well into your food, everything will cook nicely. Very important. So 4, 3, that's good. You want to spare 5, but make sure that you are checking.
You are on the lookout. Yes.
All those things. So I'd like you to help me. There's a lot of things that we need to chop. There's a lot of stuff that we need to do. So I'd like you first to chop our onion, right? Chop it, dice to fine,
Okay.
right? Because everything's gonna cook down, so it should be fine. And then I'll start with our peppers.
Okay.
Yes. So yes, you can start chopping.
So I'm using this knife.
You will use that knife.
All right. We are on it.
Yes. Also, right, when you're using the knife, right?
Yes.
This is the
sharp part.
Yeah, the sharp part, right? At the bottom here.
Yes.
And then while you hold your knife, you must hold it like this so that you can be able to put force when you chop.
When I'm chopping.
Yeah, so you're gonna be able to chop very nicely. Right.
I'm learning a trick or two.
Yeah.
This way, ne?
That way.
Okay.
Yes.
Fine. So let's take out the back part.
Yeah.
Oh, now I feel the part of me taking it out quickly. My onions are rinsed already, so don't ask why are we just chopping. Congratulations. Hey, my end was on TV. Tell me more about the competition.
It's one of those things, I like to put myself out there.
Okay. Yes.
And it was a very exciting opportunity. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really did enjoy myself on that kitchen.
Wow.
I learned a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's more picking or when you used to cooking for yourself.
Yes.
You do things because that's how you know. That's the only way that you know. But once you go out there and see other people how they do things, you actually open your mind and you get to learn a lot of things.
Yes.
That's true. So that show really taught me a lot. I've met amazing people, Abu Sanda, Abu Benz, Abu Kia. Like, it was amazing.
Wow.
Chef Ruben. It was amazing time for me.
That's good, Andy. Firstly, I would like to compliment you, because one thing that I always say, when you have a vision, it's something that you need to take out there and make sure that you go all out to make sure that it comes to pass and all that.
That's true.
And Andy, tell me, abanye abantu bayazibuza ukuthi, hey, Chef Andile usukaphi, ukhulelephi, and how did you start the passion of cooking?
So I grew up in the East End.
Okay.
I got your home.
Wow.
And
K1.
K1.
Yes.
K1. I grew up there and I was born in Soweto, but I didn't live in Soweto. Yes, my family is from there. Like my parents, my grandparents are from Soweto.
Okay.
But all my life, we say Katlehong K1.
All right. Okay.
Yes. And then started school back in 2001.
Okay.
And then matriculated in 2012. And my love for food, that's where it started.
Wow.
In high school.
Okay.
Yes.
Were you doing specific subjects that wanted you to be into cooking?
Definitely. I was doing home economics.
Okay.
Yes.
Standard, not manje, grade. Yes.
No, it was great.
Was it a grade?
I'm not that old, eh?
Okay.
Yes. I did home economics in grade 10.
Okay.
Obviously, moved with it to grade 11, grade 12. And the first thing that we made, which was funny, we made cupcakes.
Okay.
That was our first sort of practical in grade 12.
Wow.
It was a mess. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Because people are gonna be seeing us cooking nice things here, and they're gonna say, "Hey, Nina."
Okay.
How is my onion?
Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect. So
thanks there.
We're gonna put our rice on our stove.
Okay.
Right. And we're gonna add our cold water.
Abanye abantu endimos, they like to boil water and put on rice so that it's okhawulezibile when I cold water. What's the trick there?
I get what you're saying, right? I think it's a preference thing. For me, I like to use cold water first.
Okay.
So that the starch, like whatever starch I cook, so that it can be able to absorb the water and cooks very well.
Okay.
Once you add hot water onto starch, yes, it will it will contract quickly, the water and the heat and everything. It will cook, but for me, I prefer to start with cold water so that everything comes out together and cooks very well.
Noted.
Yes.
Yebo.
If you like to use hot water, go with it if it works for you. But for me, I prefer to do it this way.
We are learning one or two.
Yes. So we made my cupcakes.
My cupcakes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was so funny. And we're like in groups. And cupcakes, man, is a simple thing. You know?
Okay.
But you know, we was class silly, and it's your first time doing it. We were all stressed, and we were all trying to bring our A game.
Okay.
Others made pink cupcakes.
Like
it was so funny, and some of them they were so hard. You couldn't even chew them. Some of them they were crumbling. They had to scrape out of the pan. During presentation, it was different things. Amanya cleanile, amanya crumbs, amanya it was just a mess.
Oh my
But
God.
luckily our teacher,
Yes.
she understood, even though she was hard on us,
yes.
she understood, and then we got marks, everyone passed, and all that. That's where my cooking.
I want to excel on this.
You want to excel,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So that's where my passion for cooking started. Initially, I wanted to be a dietitian or nutritionist, or a chef who I'll be working in the kitchen all the time.
Okay.
But I was like, okay, yes, I want to work in the kitchen. I want to be a chef. I want to know how to cook. But I was also doing science.
Oh.
Okay. Then I stumbled across a book, sort of like an article about the food technologist.
Okay.
Then I started getting more information
on how
it is, went to internet cafe, but because that time, yes, our phones they were there, but we didn't have cell phones.
Yes, phones are
everything is accessible now. Yes, but back then the only source of information was go to internet cafe or go to library.
Yes.
To get all that information. That's what I did, and I did food technology at Varsity, a Tshwane University of Technology.
Okay.
2013 to 2016, right? But still, there was that voice inside me, Guti, go to school, be a chef, do this professionally, and all that.
Wow.
And all this time, I was trying but the thing was, I'm a fans, right? But at some point, I was like, you know what, just to to satisfy the voice inside me, let me just go do it. And then 2022, I sold my old car.
Okay.
And then put some money aside. 2023, I went to Kipsikam Culinary School for a year. It was part-time.
Okay.
And then I did my culinary course to be a professional chef.
Wow.
Then once done, I was like, at least that part of my life is gone.
And now you are able to get the satisfaction of what you wanted and what you've been longing for.
Yes.
Okay?
What I've been longing for. And from then, because I've seen how exciting it is, I started cooking more, being in the kitchen, doing things, get that experience. Because I have a 9 to 5 where I work in the lab, I do all those things. I don't get enough time to actually cook and be able to be in the kitchen all the time.
Okay.
Right? So I started doing it on my side, cooking and doing all those things.
Wow.
And that's when.
And family-wise support, how are they seeing you in the kitchen? Remember, because Mama Bet, whenever they want us to do things, as Fulangabo and all that, yes. And when you say, Mama, I want to be a chef and I'm going to school and I'm going to pay for my own fees because I sold my car, how is it?
My parents are easygoing.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie to you. My parents, they are not like those parents where they want to, they put pressure on you. As long as what you're doing is what you love, and as long as you can live off that, But I think that's what our parents are mostly worried about. Is my child gonna survive?
It's a container peel and survive this, yes.
I think that's the most worrying thing about my parents, that as long as my child is going to be able to afford the place to stay, be able to afford the things that they want, they don't want to see Umtanabo being poor. I think that's every parent's
dream to make sure, that
so my parents were cool about it, and they know what I love to cook, I love being in the kitchen, and they were just easygoing.
Wangulamntana evela ngene ekhabathini to azise iflower ileke phansi iswekile yonke lonto.
Right? So I was that kid, okay, our rice, it's almost cooked.
Okay.
So I know people will judge me. But what I like to do, right?
Yes. Yes.
And then I like to take it out, wash it, rinse it, and then put it back. That's an old style of cooking rice.
Yeah,
right? In Makaya, we used to do
that.
Kitchen starch,
Yes.
you know. I know some of them are like, rice, you just cook it all the way. That's a cooking show. During that cooking show, I've seen Velabani will just cook it right through and they will not remove starch and all that. They say you don't have to, but for me, doing it like this, and it's hard for me to do it in another way. I've tried to do it.
I'm with you. Let's do it, Andy.
So right now the starch is out, and then I'm just gonna rinse it quickly.
Yes.
Yeah. Now I'm rinsing my rice to take out the starch. Now I'm gonna be doing the savory part of the rice, and I have a butter here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna add also a bit of oil.
Okay.
Just gonna add it. It's melted, and we're gonna add our onion.
Okay.
And our garlic and ginger mix.
That's the pinch of it.
Yes.
Okay.
And also our peppers. Can you smell that?
Woo! It smells so good.
And the trick, right, to packing so much flavor in your dishes, I like to use the pastes. The paste, the one that I've added now.
Yes.
The ginger and the garlic. You're also getting ginger and the onion and all that, because they are very well grounded. Right? So they would add so much flavor into your dish. Yes, you can add them separately, right? But it's also time consuming. You need abantu balambile. Right. So paste, they pack so much flavor. I know sometimes you might feel like you are cheating, but remember, convenience
at all
it's
times.
very important. Right. And also we're gonna be seasoning. We have our salt here.
Yes.
That's the most important thing.
We are with the chef, so we are one of those zikhala kahle.
I have salt and pepper.
Yebo.
So seasoning now, it's very important. You need to be seasoning sort of like in departments in a way.
Okay.
Compartments or whatever. So now you see I've seasoned the first part of the dish. I'm gonna be seasoning again.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
So it's better to do it like that, so that's all the seasoning. You see?
Okay.
So in this way, everything will be able to mellow, everything will be able to get into your dish. Because you'll tell at the end, but you'll find that you're not tasting anything. Right? So your seasonings need to cook so that you'll be everything, the flavor can be well incorporated.
And the land of because when the seasoning is not cooked, it also has that raw flavor when it comes to food.
That's true. That's true. And now I'll be adding our spices.
Okay.
Right. So now I'll be adding my seasoning. I have my paprika, I have my racha powder, and the turmeric.
It's winter bahlali, so ukhona into ezifuna nje uba zithi kazibona uqobuka izispice nazo ziyaphakama. Wow, the color is changing now.
Yes. And I like to add my spices at this moment, right? Because when you fry your spices, sorry. When you fry your spices, you actually releasing those volatiles,
Okay.
right? Volatiles like the smells and everything. Let's see our rice here. Okay, it's coming. So I like to fry my spices in a way because they just release so much flavor in it.
Okay.
Okay, and now we're just gonna wait for our rice to cook.
Okay.
Right, and then we're gonna add it in here.
Oh.
Okay. All right, so our rice, it's done.
Okay.
It's done cooking, and just gonna add it onto our spices.
Oh wow.
Spice mixture.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna mix everything together.
Okay. You're doing it on a pan, and you know what? Normally, if I'm doing with biryani, I'll put it on the pot and then start mixing.
Yes.
But you did gradually put it in and then started mixing. Okay.
True. Just gonna add the rest of it.
Okay.
You can see what I'm doing.
Yes. Yes.
And our savory rice is done.
Wow.
Just gonna put it,
Okay.
move it from the heat. Because now everything is cooked. You know, the rice is cooked, the vegetables, the spices, everything is well cooked.
Okay.
And then when I add our seasoning,
Okay.
salt and pepper.
That smells nice.
As
I very like the black pepper.
I'm telling you.
Yes.
And we're done with our rice.
Okay.
Easy as that. Now we're moving to our chicken.
Okay.
First, we'll add our butter and a little bit of oil.
Okay.
I'm sure you might ask yourself, why is he using the butter
And oil?
Oil has a low melting point, meaning that it gets hot very quickly. Right?
Oh, okay.
Normal sunflower oil has a low melting point, meaning that it gets hot very quickly, right? And then butter has a high melting point, meaning that it takes time for it to be hot, right?
Oh.
So it's sort of like they balance each other, right? So that your pot or your pan doesn't get hot too quickly.
Okay.
Right. And the nice thing about butter, it adds creaminess, it adds body onto your meals. Right.
Okay.
So first I'll start browning our meat.
Okay. I see specifically that they are looking down. Is that how it's supposed to start?
Yes.
Okay.
Because remember the fat, the skin, right? That's where it takes all the flavor. So what I'm trying to do, I'm rendering all that fat from the chicken skin so that even when I add the vegetables, I can, use that fat from the chicken to flavor the vegetables and also to flavor the whole dish.
I'm learning something there. What masiyibeka inyama siyayibeka nje ukuthi sinike cheese. Yeah, but so now that I'm hearing that, then that means that that's something that I'm going to be learning on. Okay?
So fat, it's very good for transporting flavor, but it holds flavor very well on your dishes. That's why when someone doesn't cook with fat, or you boil your stuff or you fry your stuff, it doesn't taste nice. That's why we like greasy.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why we like greasy stuff like Makoti, aroma chips and all that, because of that fat. Fat holds flavor very well.
Okay.
So now our chicken is nicely browned.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna remove it from our pan. And now, just gonna take our vegetables here. Same pan. This, guys, this is flavor. You see this? It's flavor. Don't throw it away. Right? Wanna add our celery, our onions, and our carrots. Carrots add that nice sweet flavor on your dishes.
Okay, take care of that.
Thank you. Just gonna saute everything. So I'm using the flavor from the fat from the chicken to saute our vegetables. You can add a bit of oil if you feel like, but all that flavor, all that fat from the chicken will do just this.
Okay. I'm still gonna use this.
The oil, no.
Okay.
Then now we can add our tomato paste.
Okay.
And the nice thing about this dish, stuff like you can find it in your cupboard.
Okay, yes.
You know, it's not an expensive dish. Yes, you can buy like a few things and all that, but you have an onion, probably you have carrots sitting somewhere, peppers, and paste. The paste, you can just buy it and then just put it in your cupboard.
Okay.
You know, it doesn't go off very quickly. It was already sold. We have oil. Everyone has oil.
You know, and what I'm also noticing is the passion that you're putting onto every dish that you are doing in your kitchen.
Yes.
You know, now when I was growing up, I grew up in and one thing that I master in my cooking in my kitchen is uput.
Yes.
Because our izinto zasekhaya ivalvuthwanga zazingalisi. To that extent, akekho umuntu omdlula ngophuthu ngitsho futhi nje I still stand ukuthi uphuthu lwami hayi shem.
I think you need to teach me how to put, because I've tried put, but at some point it doesn't get to that texture, that crumbly texture that I want, you know.
No, we'll make time. Yes, we'll make time. Chef Andile knows the best things to make things nicely end. But there are those small things that you grow up and you get to nature, like
things that you want to learn in school.
Yes.
You see.
All right.
Things that you want to learn in school, so
and smells good.
It does.
Wow.
Salt and pepper.
Okay. Okay.
So now our paste has cooked down, and then we're gonna add our spices. We have our cumin.
Yes.
We have our curry powder.
Yes.
We have the raja mild, and we also have our aniseeds. We'll take them out later on.
Okay.
And then we also have our turmeric, paprika, and cinnamon.
Okay. So tell me, why then are we gonna take them out?
And lastly, okay, this one we'll add it later on.
Okay. That is your bay leaves. Okay.
Yes. They are bitter, right?
Oh.
Yes, they are bitter. You see now, our spices are cooking down. Yeah. And now, what I need from you is pomeza.
Yes, there.
It's the stock powder.
Oh, yes. This is so cute.
Stock powder.
Are you going to need a spoon?
Yeah. Our spices are cooking down now. That's our stock.
Mhm.
You can add water
Okay.
as it is, but the stock has all the flavor. Remember, here you're building all the flavor, you're building all those elements that you need in the dish. So you can just add water as it is, but adding stock is actually much better.
Wow. Okay.
Bit of water.
You just loosen up the thickness, ne?
Yes.
Okay.
Now reduce my heat.
We're cooking at 4 at
Yes,
that time.
we're cooking at 4. And now I'm gonna put back our chicken. Snuggle this one here. And we can put our bay leaves.
Right. Is you gonna need this?
No.
Can I
not
clean it
now.
off?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now I've just lowered my heat, right? And then I'm gonna cover this, let it cook, let everything simmer down. The chicken will absorb all that flavor in the spices in this broth that I've just created right now. And then later on, we're just gonna blend everything, put a bit of cream on top, and then we should be done. Okay, so now our meat is cooked, right? Our sauce, it's nicely blended. The spices, they smell very nice.
Too much.
Too much. So now the last thing that we need to do is just to blend everything, right? As you can see, you can still see your carrots in there, you can still see your bay leaves. We're gonna take out the aniseed.
Okay.
So it could be aniseed because I don't want that bitter notes that comes with aniseed. So since Mandisesi like simmered everything, all those flavors from the aniseed, from the bay leaves, we've extracted.
Okay.
So
you're gonna be taking them out.
Yeah.
Let me just bring you something to put them onto.
So when you cook, don't be afraid to experiment.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to experiment. Obviously with logic, right? And also was now next time go to, oh, I shouldn't be adding this. I should be adding this. I shouldn't be adding that, right? Okay. So it goes with when you're doing stuff. You practice. That's our aniseed in there. Our bay leaves.
And I think the more you cook, the more you get to acquire more skills.
Yes.
And getting better on everything that you're doing.
That's
Because
true.
You may cook rice today, but tomorrow it can be something better.
Definitely. It's quite a lot of them. Thank you. Now, just gonna move this chicken out of the way here.
Okay.
And I will need this. Okay. Let's see.
What are we doing there now, Andy?
So now we are blending our vegetables in here because more bigger man, you see, we have your carrots, we have still have your celery, and all that. And I like to blend this because now I can be able to get that nice smooth mixture, right? Because abanye abantu when they eat, they don't want to be crunching on carrots. Okay, carrots, they are nice, but some of them they don't want to see onions. I know someone who like they don't want to see onion in their food. Once they see it, appetite really
okay. When I'm on a tomato, yes. I boil it because I don't want to see that. So I don't like it in that way. I hear you.
So now,
let me bring a swab.
Yes. Just gonna wipe here.
Yes.
Thank you.
Gone.
Okay. So that's our stick blender in here. Okay.
And it's also changing the color.
The color is also changing.
Yes.
I'm gonna wipe here. Let me just put it in another container.
Okay.
Because now I couldn't overfill this thing, right? So we still have a bit of the mixture left here.
Okay. Let's take it out.
Yeah. The cameraman can see what I'm doing. See, everything is nicely blended. And then put it back onto our pot. I'm gonna leave this blender here so that I can be able to blend the rest. It's here. So now I've blended all my vegetables, you see?
Wow.
It's nice and thick. You don't need to add a thickener because the pectin from the vegetables, like your carrots and all that, that's where you're getting this thickness.
Wow.
Right?
So akukho need ubufake into zokwenza ukuthi amanzi aqokelelane.
That's true.
That's true. Hey, Makoti Luthuli when she's back in her kitchen.
Bazobona.
Madlanduna, you must watch the space. Chef Andy here is doing the things.
Yes. So now we're adding back our chicken just to absorb all that nice flavor, you know, of all the vegetables and everything that we've just blended in there. Okay.
That looks yummy.
That looks hearty.
Yeah, bro.
And now our chicken is done.
Okay.
And then the final thing, just for garnish, some nice coriander. In there. Some salt and a bit of pepper. And just to add a little bit of heat.
Yo.
Not too much, you know.
Okay.
Just gonna add our chili flakes in there. Yeah, they should be fine.
It should be fine.
You know?
And then we are in winter, so yes,
Because there's heat, I'm just gonna add a bit of cream just to take down the heat. Right. And a little bit of cream. And there's our chicken.
Wow. The smells are corner.
Yeah. And then for our rice, just a bit of parsley here on top.
Okay.
Just to make things alive. Okay, sis Pumeza, our meal is done and I'm to serve it with a nice portion salad on the side. And we're ready to eat.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I am so ready to taste. Yep.
Alright. Yeah, let's go for it.
Yes, definitely, Chef Andile. I am so grateful and I really, really appreciate your time. And guess what? If you have the hosting, the family, you want Chef Andile to come to you, definitely he can be able to make time to come to you. You saw Andile with Makoti Luthuli. Then you'll be in your kitchen very soon if you know what's best for you. Yes. The smell of this dish.
I also can't wait.
I just can't wait to dig in. We had an amazing day with Chef Andile here. He can be in your kitchen also. Andy, what are your handles so that people can reach out to you?
Okay, so I'm everywhere. You find me on Instagram. It's @Andile Mkhonza _ X @Andile Mkhonza 3. YouTube, it's Andile Mkhonza, and TikTok, Andile Mkhonza. Just send me a DM, but I'm mostly active on Instagram. Just send me a DM there and we'll chat.
Definitely. He'll be in your kitchen very soon. Now I can't wait to dig in. Thank you very much for watching. We love you and stay blessed. Keep those comments coming because we want to know what are your views so that we can bring more of these cooks. Thank you very much. Thank you, Andy.
I'm so excited.
Yes, I can't wait.
Let's eat before everything gets cold.
Yes.
Yes.